All right, it is SNL. Landry Locker, Cody Stutes with you straight from the practice field to your screen. Cody shaking his head already. He's already frustrated with your boy. I don't know what's going on. Maybe he's upset. He might have to watch Davis Mills again. I don't know what Cody's deal is, but we're happy to be here with you, giving you the latest on the Texans. Few sleeps away from the Texans versus the Titans.
Hey, you're the one that earlier this week said Davis Mills will never play a football game that good ever again in his life. He's never going to be good at football ever again. He's worthless. He's useless. They're going to struggle to beat the Tennessee Titans. That was you earlier this week.
No, I do. I am smelling a trap, and it does feel like this is going to be a Davis Mills game. And I credit you, Cody, for pointing this out, because the last time CJ Stroud had a concussion, he got to rest for 3 weeks. He didn't step on a football field against active action for 3 weeks. He missed 2 games. Now, if he misses 2 games this time, it'll be less than the 3 weeks. It'll be 17 instead of the 21. But it does feel, and there was no CJ Stroud, there was no Jalen Petrie today. It does feel like Davis Mills is going to have to win not 1 but 2 ball games for this team to get to 5-5.
Yeah, and the opponents are not nearly as tough as what Case Keenum had to deal with a couple of years ago. But you need to get to 5-5, and a loss to the Tennessee Titans would basically ruin whatever happened with the Jaguars. It's funny how this roller coaster has been very familiar. Hey, this game really only matters if they do something with it, Seattle. Hey, this game really only matters if they do something with it, Denver. Hey, that Jaguars comeback really only matters if they do something with it, Tennessee? Hopefully not. But yeah, it does look like it's going to be Davis Mills. Now, it looks that way. There still exists the very slim margin that CJ Stroud can clear concussion protocol, but it is unlikely at this point that
you have to practice twice. Now, that's I was talking to someone today, so you have to practice twice. So Titus Howard, he's out of concussion protocol. He practiced today. If you want any hope of Jalen Petrie and CJ Stroud, they would have to practice tomorrow, because that would leave only 1 practice for the week. So speculation or not, to clear concussion protocol, you have to practice not once, but twice. That's interesting piece of information. I feel like we constantly learn about the concussion protocol, but that's what it is. So if there's no CJ tomorrow, there's no CJ on Sunday.
Correct. Yeah. So it's shaping up to be a Davis Mills matchup yet again. And he's going to go to Tennessee, take this thing on the road, and see if he can capture some of that momentum. And I guess the left elbow's okay. He's a full participant in practice. I think he'd have been, they probably could have tried to cut his left arm off. He'd still try to go with the right one in this one. It's his chance to start. He's not going to get many of these. And so you got to make the most of it, but full go. So no worry there that that's going to keep him out or force us to watch Graham Mertz. So, bad news for Petrie, bad news for CJ Stroud. And Dalton Schultz, I know it says on the screen that he did not practice. He was there in uniform, had his headband on, and had his little concussion neck thing on. Just didn't have his helmet. I guess ultimately just ended up watching. But they didn't have a tight end at practice today.
I don't think Dalton. Well, they had Cade Stover.
Well, it's true. Cade's not listed on here.
Burying the lead. Cade Stover back. He's right there with the foot. Right there, foot limited.
There it is. Okay, yeah. So his window is open. He can be active this weekend if he wants to. And if they want to activate him,
if he's able to.
Yeah, if they feel like he's good to go, he can be active this weekend.
Notice no Trent Brown on this, which is really interesting. Unless I'm missing it. But
is it interesting, or did you just think Trent Brown is this broken down, beaten, useless man, and then he's gone out here in the past 5 days and proven to people like you that fat people can get it done too?
No, what Trent Brown has done is he's completely eliminated one of my superpowers, which was being able to tell when an offensive lineman's cooked, because he just moves that way no matter what. So he is like one of one when it comes to the way in which he moves, which is very slow. And then he goes out on the football field and he's just a massive human being. But between the Justin Britts, the Shaq Masons, the Matt Khalils, I felt like I had this down. my kryptonite of my superpower is without a doubt, he is Trent Brown, because he's not even on this damn injury report.
I'm trying to figure out I guess it's got to be the fact that Trent Brown is just an extremely large human being. That's what threw you off. It's like you just don't typically see linemen that large, and that's what threw you off, and that's why you thought maybe Trent Brown was done.
Cody, how do you have an x-ray and not appear on the injury report? Like, even if it's minor, like, how does a guy, like, I almost feel like they're just effing with me at this point. The Davis Mills elbow, he put the sleeve on. How does a guy have a foot x-ray, have a damn cast on, not a cast, but a sleeve on it, and he's not even on the injury report?
Because he gets lots of nutrients. He gets lots of nutrients, and it healed fast.
Also returning, you have Ed Ingram, and we'll see if Titus practices tomorrow. That could be him clearing. So there are options, assuming that Trent Brown's good to go. There are options on the offensive line, which I thought was interesting because, yes, Nick Caley was asked about the offensive line shuffle, and this is what the offensive coordinator for the Texans had to say about the shuffling. Apparently, it's a chess and checker move, like I always like to talk draft. Apparently, they're not just thinking about now, they're thinking forward when it comes to this offensive line shuffle.
Yeah, I think just every single week, again, it's a body of work. So, City had put out really good, I would say consistent performances day after day of practice and given an opportunity to go out there and compete. Nothing more, nothing less. We're going to always have an opportunity to compete. I don't think anything's fixed, and that's what practice is for. They settled in. I think as the game went on, we got settled in, and I think that there was a lot of good. What I really appreciated was down the stretch, we were able to really settle down, communicate, be more efficient, take care of, being tighter with our run game fundamentals, be cleaner in pass protection. And I think just collectively, the interior part did a great job, but I think that extended to everybody too. You had Trent out there for the first time at right tackle too. So there's some new faces, but again, this was 2 weeks ago or whatever it was when I was asked a question by somebody in here. Like we do change things up at times, like every other place I've been, just in terms of being able to have some flex with those lines so that you're never in a position where, hopefully not in the position where you're the first time a guy's ever playing together is out on a Sunday. You're trying to build those reps throughout the week. So I thought they did a really good job. I thought collectively we got better and cleaner as the game went along. That was the best thing we could have done. And those guys up front really helped make it feel that way even more, I think, when you can settle down the line of scrimmage.
All right. Give me your thoughts on this, because I have some I have some stuff to say about the offensive line explanation too. Yeah, y'all got off to a bad start because y'all did some dumb shit to start the game. That's really, like, I'll just throw that to the side. Like, y'all did some dumb shit to start the game. But what do you make of the explanation of the offensive line shuffle? Shout out to everyone in the chat, by the way. We hope you'll join us at Spanky's 2 days from now. I've already started looking at the menu. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I've already started looking at the menu. Homemade dough, homemade sauces, lots of fun. Happy hour this Friday, next Friday. This Friday, we're looking ahead to 2 games in 6 days. And then we're going to be reacting the next Friday. These are the best Spanky's outings there is. The season is alive. There is a buzz. And speaking of buzz, best happy hour, best drink menu in the game, best prices. We want to see you there.
Yeah, this offensive line situation, man. Have you ever heard the phrase, the beatings will continue until morale improves? Like, it's an old, like, Army thing from way back in the day, but that's what it feels like. The shuffle will continue until we find the guys. Yeah? It feels like you could find the guys by now. Like, you should have the idea of who the 5 guys you want to put out there. And then, I don't know, let them build some cohesion, some chemistry, some familiarity, some depth with each other. But no, they've moved guys around basically every single week. And last week it was the City So experiment in addition to Jared Patterson. No rotation for Patterson, but when Scruggs plays, sometimes he rotates a lot. Sometimes he only rotates a little. Trent Brown's in there, like, just all sorts of just continued shuffle. And I expect them to shuffle again this week because Nick Caley made it seem like everybody does this. Not everybody does this.
Yeah, I don't see too many NFL teams rotating guard. Like he said, where I was at, I want to see the Rams example the last 2 years of them rotating guards and starting a practice squad guy randomly. Like it doesn't, I don't think this is normal, to say the very least. I understand if you don't have good players, then you just try as much as you can. Maybe it's as simple as Nick Caley just can't come out and say to us, these guys suck, so we're just trying whatever the hell we can to figure it out. Like maybe we got to be a little bit lenient and just take it for what it is and what we know it is and what he can't say it is.
Yeah, if he doesn't want to go up there and say, yeah, we just got to piece it together every week because nobody's good enough to earn a starting spot outside of Jake Andrews and Ariante Ursery, I understand why he wouldn't go up there and say it. But man, they've got to go with like one guy at these guard spots going forward. Like they've seen enough from everyone at different levels of opponent to just go with one of these guys at left guard and one of these guys at right guard.
Yeah, I would agree with you. It is SNL, Landry Locker, Cody Stutes reacting to the Texans injury report. Looks like life with Mills may continue. Let's go to the chat.
You ain't never hate.
Swarm.
HDAV says, evening, Landry, Cody, and friends. It's hump day. Yeah, damn right it's hump day. My goodness. And I'm not liking this getting dark earlier. I never start to like it. It seems like it never happens. 320 says, D'Amico should say this is for Cochran. I think he did Sunday.
I think that was I think that was part of Sunday. Yeah.
Gibby says if CJ is a no-go, chances for Thursday.
I mean, certainly like I can't say zero because like there's a chance it happens.
But there's only 2 practices. There's Monday, Tuesday. I found out today they do not practice Wednesday because we were trying to figure out how the schedule looks, like if there's a walkthrough or anything, whether they're traveling or not. There's no practice on Wednesday, so he would have to practice Monday and Tuesday, I believe.
My misunderstanding. I thought he was asking about tomorrow's practice. He's asking about next week's game. Gotcha.
Correct. Yes.
Gotcha. Okay. So he'd have to go Monday and Tuesday next week.
Right.
Gotcha.
Right.
Or I guess in theory he could go Friday and then Monday. Well, Monday, Tuesday. If he goes Friday, he's going Monday, Tuesday. So never mind.
Jeremiah Chavez says starting O-line from today's practice.
Didn't assemble the line.
They kicked us out. They broke their 30-minute rule again. They did this. It was a 17-minute availability. And of all the times for Aaron to be an alpha.
Hey, bro. Alpha Aaron here.
Where the hell you at, man? Supposed to be representing.
Yeah, he didn't really stand up for us.
Why the hell are you representing? Speaking of Aaron, Alpha Aaron, Houston Misfortune says Trent Brown looked like he needed the oxygen tank after answering 2 questions from Alpha Aaron. Thought he did a nice job with you, Stutes.
Why y'all giving Trent Brown such a hard time?
Rich Boy Jay says Landry giving T Breezy bulletin board material. I'm a Trent Brown fan. I just the way that he moves does not look like it's symbolic of someone who's going to not be on the injury report.
Trent Brown got the Marks a lot and the Mirror in the morning, and he's just writing Landry's name every morning.
Malik says Togiai has potential to be a very good DT. CJ Soft ? No, I don't think CJ Soft. I think you're just cautious with the quarterback situation. I mean, I don't know that concussion protocol is a will thing. Is it? I mean, it's.
Well, it's one thing if it's like a guard, a defensive lineman, a linebacker. Like if your quarterback comes back too early, gets the bell rung again, he's probably going to sit out the rest of the year. Like you want to be a little cautious with the quarterback compared to some other positions.
Togiai, I think he's already pretty good. We're going to try to chat with him exclusively on Friday. That's the goal. We're big, very intrigued to hear from Tommy Togiai. So, dude, you can't do that, dude.
Why can't I do it?
You can't do that. You're not.
I can't do that.
No, dude.
I'm doing it wrong.
You're white, dude. Come on. That's not you. That's
Race car.
I think that's a culture thing, man. Why are you being a culture vulture with what he's doing?
I want to understand the deeper meaning of that.
All right, we'll ask it. Well, don't throw it up before you don't know the deeper meaning.
It's not. What can it be? It's not going to be something awful. He can't do that in games and make it.
This guy.
It's not going to be something awful.
It's freaking culture vulture here. Ryan Willis says, I'll be at Spanky's Friday with my 2-year-old son. Awesome. We look forward to seeing you, my friend.
Nice.
Logan Taylor 6213 says no Jeffrey Simmons hamstring.
He did not practice today with a hamstring injury.
Damn, I thought for sure he would be back. He's the one who basically handed Amy Adams Stank the game ball last time.
Mm-hmm.
Archer asks, is the OL shuffle a Patriots thing?
Not really, because
I don't remember it being.
See, that's another weird thing. Well, everywhere we've been. Well, when you were in New England, you started Trent Brown, you started Andrews, who was the center, you started Shaq Mason, you started Cannon, and when guys were hurt, you had different guys come in. But yeah, they didn't do that in New England.
Now we got the number one Asian of SNL, Patrick Ding. You got him doing this now because of you.
Race car.
Look what you started, and that's basically the equivalent of what you did. You got our Asian, our official Asian of SNL throwing up the fist.
I just want to know what's up with the Togi Eye celebration.
Okay, well, don't throw it up before you don't know. Good Lord.
What's the worst that it could be?
I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. We'll get to the bottom of this. Let's get the overall thoughts, though, on the offensive line from Nick Caley. Just the overall assessment. He's had a lot to say about the shuffling and the bad start. What about the overall assessment, OC?
Grit, toughness, strain, finish. Those guys played hard. It's not ever perfect, but they played their tails off, from start to finish, and didn't go the way that we wanted to collectively to start. But they settled in, and there was great communication on the sideline, on the bench, through adjustments and stuff like that. And I just thought they were really, really focused.
Yeah, it didn't go the way you wanted at the start because you played City so.
Yeah, they like the strain of Jared Patterson, all the grit, all that, man. The Jeffrey Simmons being out would be a big favor for the interior of this O-line. I am with you, though. It is hard to imagine Tennessee scoring points, but it would be a very big favor for Jeffrey Simmons not to be out there, to say the very least.
Yeah, especially when he had that the super sack or whatever you want to call it last time out, where it was basically the ball was in Stroud's hands and Simmons was on top of him immediately. You don't want to see that.
All right, so we got the news earlier this week that MJ Stewart's going to miss the season. We knew that there was going to be a roster move. They've made the roster move, and Miles Bryant gets the MJ Stewart spot. So now Miles Bryant, who, by the way, could have been a hero last game if it hadn't been for the heads-up play by that Jags offensive lineman that tackled him. That would have been a pick six on that Trevor Lawrence screen. Did you notice that?
Mm-mm.
The ill-advised screen that Trevor Lawrence threw, and he just tossed it up when the running back was down. Miles Bryant was just about to leap over and catch that and house it.
Yes.
Lineman, I don't know if the offensive lineman saw it or if it just happened to be lucky that he tackled him, but that was a house call for Miles Bryant. Zero doubt, pick six. It didn't get caught because it happened so quickly, but he was literally about to house call Trevor Lawrence.
I remember that because Adam Wexler and I had a conversation about if the ref threw a flag, what is the flag if it could warrant a flag? But I guess it didn't warrant a flag. They didn't throw it, but yeah, he got clotheslined by that guy.
He was gone. That was a dunzo. He's pretty fast too. So Miles Bryant, it's interesting. Miles Bryant, we've talked about his versatility going back to camp. There was probably, would you say, a week and a half stretch where he was practicing with Petrie in the Petrie role. And then he actually put together a nice little display in that week and a half, whatever it was. And then they decided to move him to safety full time. And now we haven't really seen him back in the Petrie role, but if Jalen Petrie's not able to play, and if they want to play some form of that defense, you're not going to do it with Miles Bryant 90% of the time like you do with Petrie, but he has had stretches this year where he's practiced there and he's practiced at safety. He's really practiced everywhere. He's filled the most practice roles of any DB.
Correct. I'm surprised that he got the the roster spot. And I suppose I understand it because they've already used promotions on him. So that would run out quicker than promoting other guys. And you could use him in a variety of ways, like you said. I would still think they probably still bring up Jalen Mills from the practice squad just to have an additional body and a veteran who's played a lot of safety on the roster.
Yeah, I think Mills is. I don't know how they use him, but I'm with you on the Mills thing. Shout out to TDECU, the greatness that is TDECU. Cody's got that fresh new Texans debit card. You should too. Cody, tell them why they should get it.
Well, you get 15% off Texans gear on the online team store, and you get that TDECU Texans debit card. You can learn about all the perks at tdcu.org/Texans, including access to exclusive tickets at NRG for various events. Plus, your money just works better for you at a place like TDECU than all the other places you've been putting your money. They're a credit union. They can do more things. They can offer more things. And membership's required. They're insured by the NCUA, and they can explain it all, exactly which level of checking you want, exactly the type of savings. If you've got a business account, they'd be happy to have your business account over there as well. Your credit union is not just a slogan. They want to take care of your cash, your money when you put it with them, and you get that gorgeous Texans debit card when you get signed up, or maybe you're a Cougs fan. You want that gorgeous Cougs debit card as well. Tons of perks, tons of advantages with our friends at TDECU.
No doubt. Membership required, insured by NCUA. So Matt Burke, the defensive coordinator for the Texans, he believes in the 500. How would you describe what he said? What are we calling this?
I mean, this is almost it. I guess the vibes of 500. The belief in 500 as a sort of a reset for them. I don't know. We'll just let Burke explain it, and then everybody else can weigh in.
Obviously, it's week to week, and you want to win, but I think there's just some psychological effects to that. Like, okay, we're back here and kind of leveled, and then like make our stretch run. For me, I just feel like the time between like Halloween and Thanksgiving is like that sort of middle part of the season where everyone's kind of like slogging through, and then you kind of get past Thanksgiving, you have a sense of where you're at. So to kind of get us through this whatever quarter of the season we're at, and come out where we're in a position to make a push and do all the things that we set out to do, I think that's where we're at. So this week's the first step in that, and getting a win and getting back to where we want to be, and hopefully that's where we go.
Hopefully, that's where we get to go. Mm-hmm. I think it's not a hopefully. It's a must happen. Now they could get in a world where you lose this one and then beat Buffalo. You don't want to get in that world. At some point, you got to start making some tangible momentum. So it's not really a hopeful thing.
The 4-6 world is not where you just can't go there, because then it requires a stretch run to the back end of the schedule where you only have one loss. And I just don't believe them to be anywhere close to a good enough team to only have one more loss on their schedule if they lost to the freaking Tennessee Titans on Sunday. So, there's got to be something that you're going to feel at least good getting to that 5-5, and just, he called it, like the clean slate or whatever, but just like, okay, 10 are behind us. Let's sprint to the end and get where we need to go here for the rest of this season. If you're a member of the Texans, if you can get to that 5-5. All
right. Here's another observation that you noticed. I know I noticed. The Nick Caley hat. What happened to why is Nick Caley's hat clean?
Not just his hat was clean. It was a totally new hat, was it not?
Yes.
Yeah. So he got a totally new hat. So I don't know if that's the other hat just finally, was so awful and stinky and nasty and gross. I don't know if he just, saw a new hat and liked it. Maybe he thought the comeback was the last little bit of oomph that hat had, and he needed to kind of start anew. I don't know, but the new hat was quite the surprise. I expected that crusty, nasty, sweaty bull crap that he'd been wearing for the first 10 weeks.
I have a theory on the Nick Caley hat now that we've seen he wore that nasty ass hat for all that time, and then this week that happens to disappear. You remember how Gandhi used to fast if there wasn't peace?
I guess I'm unfamiliar with my Gandhi history, but I'll go with
Gandhi
it.
used to just like not eat until like the country became better and there was like peace and stuff.
That's why he was so skinny. He's never eaten because there's never peace.
Yeah, it was pretty tough. Like if you know your history with Gandhi. I think Nick Caley would not change his hat till Sidney So got a look. So I think that's what it was. I think he said, I'm not changing this hat, as smelly as it is, until Sidney So gets a look. And then he got the look, and finally someone walked over there and said, all right, you got it. Get his ass out of there now.
And then he just took it off,
and that hat's gone. It was his Sidney So protest hat.
His Sidney So protest hat.
That's my story, and that's my theory, and I'm sticking to it.
You ain't never hate.
Swarm.
Malik is choosing violence today. He said, would Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes miss 2 games from a concussion?
Sure. Why not?
I don't know. I mean, are Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes tougher than CJ Stroud? Is that what he's asking pretty much?
Yeah, I mean, this is not the first time Malik has hinted that he thinks that CJ is soft.
Hey. We'll see what happens. The Bearded Ways says, could we get a look at Togiai on the O-line? We already know he plays with great consistency and technique.
I think he's content to chase down running backs and quarterbacks and beat up offensive linemen. But his cousin does play O-line for BYU.
Tommy Togiai is I felt bad for him because at Ohio State he had to sit out the national championship with the COVID protocols.
Yeah.
How much would that suck? He ended up leaving after that, but how much would that suck?
It would be awful. Like to have competed and worked as hard as he did, and then that keeps you out. It would suck.
Yeah, he's Samoan. He is a bad mofo. He's been around. This was a good. We always talk about them getting guys off the street and getting the most of them. Tommy Togiai is the ultimate. One of the ultimate examples on the D line of finding someone.
Yeah, they picked him up off of waivers in the middle of 2024, and he just stuck.
Special teams. The Texans cannot overcome another special teams effort like the one they had Sunday. If that happens again, they're not winning the game. Period, point blank, end of story. If they do that again, they will not win that game. There's zero chance they will win a game if you gift the other team 14 points on special teams and force your defense to have to stop a team from scoring a touchdown not once but twice. It's not going to happen. You're not going to overcome it, whether it's CJ Stroud or Davis Mills. Frank Ross, I think, knows that his special teams has to be better. By the way, his answer about when he chooses guys to kick return, I don't think Frank Ross has control of like the decision making, because that's one of the worst explanations I've ever heard. He said Jalen Noel, it's based on sprint and all this. It's like, buddy, you took him out of kick return when he was playing like 10% of the snaps. Like, there's no method to what they do there. And quite frankly, I think the way that Frank Ross speaks as someone who seems organized, it seems like he's almost trying to explain something that's not his decision. So I don't know who decides this shit, but I don't think it's Frank Ross. And if he does, then damn, might be in bad shape there. I don't believe that.
Well, hopefully they don't put Tremont Smith back there anymore.
Well, here's Frank Ross talking about the special teams and the state of it.
The first thing is you don't we don't roll that off and just say, that's not us. Like, that's our tape. We have to own that. We have to make sure we correct honestly and making sure that we are holding ourselves to what we think is a high standard. So I'm just going to start with disciplining our alignment, our assignment, and then when we're at the point of attack, like playing off of each other. I've always said we're an aggressive tackling unit team. Take your shot. Go and make that returner check his feet. If you miss, your buddy will clean up for you and play off of each other. If you don't do that and somebody hesitates, a lot of hesitation, Okay, that's going to start with me and my teachings and my emphasis on that. So doesn't matter how good. Every week there's good players. That's a good returner, but that's not an excuse for us. We got a really good returner this week. He's maybe the fastest returner we'll see. So we have to be sure we're disciplined, playing with and off of each other, and making sure that we're tackling the ball sound, purely.
Okay.
There was too much hesitation. And then Parker Washington. Boop, boop, boop.
Yeah, I don't know, like, I don't know that I point to like specific, like having Tremont Smith back there is a choice. That's a choice. I don't know that Frank Ross is coaching guys to allow the punt return tackle, and he's not coaching Danico Autry to do that. So I don't think it's like a coaching issue. I just think the special teams aren't performing very well. And the way that he speaks on the return thing is just, it's a little bit weird. It sounds like, it doesn't sound like what Frank Ross would sound like if he were actually in charge of those decisions. Is that
the personnel of returning? Yes, I tend to agree with you.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about a guy who's right by D'Amico during every in-game situation. You can look over there, you can see him saying stuff. You can see, like, I don't think it's Frank Ross's decision who returns kicks. That's just me.
Well, whoever's decision it is, they're bad at deciding.
Well, yep, that's just me.
It's worth noting.
Not an uneducated thought either, by the way.
Christian Kirk is no longer a part of the kick return rotation.
Captain Kirk, can you save me? Captain Kirk, I want to have your baby.
Oh, wait, someone told me that Christian Kirk was mic'd up for the game. I was like, so that was riveting.
Who makes that decision?
I don't know, but apparently he was like, I don't really say much.
Yeah. Of all the humans on the Texans that you could have mic'd up, you mic'd up Christian Kirk?
I mean, they've done Will Anderson, they've done Aziz, so they just kind of mix it up. But
the only person that talks less than Kirk is Stingley.
Yeah, Stingley.
Mic up Kamari. What are you doing? That'd have been great.
I think Kamari would get canceled.
Well, they don't put out.
That's a mean son of a bitch out there on the mic. They wouldn't be able to use any of his stuff, dude. They would.
It just beeps, just beep, beep, beep.
He's just a mean SOB out there. The dude goes nuts. I don't know that they would be able to get any material out of it. ESG Soccer says misunderstood the timing of the D'Amico tragedy, Stutes. Thought you said it was a while back. Prayers up for coach. Still need to have no return.
Just for context, ESG was pretty critical of Caserio the other day, and he's like, he's trying to take advantage of a tragedy, but I don't think he understood that D'Amico had just lost his best friend.
You are forgiven, my friend.
Yeah, it was not a big deal, ESG. I didn't think you were like a bad guy or anything.
It's not what you were saying before the stream, but it's okay, ESG.
No, that's not what was talking about before the stream. You were saying a bunch of mean stuff to me before the stream, like usual.
Not what he was saying before the stream, ESG, but I stood up for you when he was talking about you before.
You didn't even know what the hell ESG is talking about. You shut up.
All right, let's hear some more from the OC. Nick Cayley. What about Davis Mills? We know they got a bromance. I told you he was looking forward to working with him. What did he see from him? And then I asked him a little question about the freedom that Davis Mills had pre-snap and all the stuff that happens before the play.
Boys, consistency, never too high, never too low, great command, just really steady. I mean, it's exactly what he's been ever, since my exposure around him, and I'm sure well before me here.
Evaluate Davis, the pre-snap and all that type of stuff, the freedom to change plays at the line of scrimmage. Is that something that took place on Sunday?
Sure. Yeah, no, he's got great command, total command, and again, just like I just had mentioned, he's into it. I mean, he's very smart, very hardworking. He prepares, he works at it. He's here early, stays late, watches a lot of tape. So first class in every way, and really cares about the position. So, yeah, I mean, there's nothing holding him back at all from that standpoint.
I'll be damned. Look at that. Nothing holding him back. Full control. Ready to go.
On the chat, Arnold said he watched the Arnaldo Ramirez said he watched it. He says it was a boring mess, mic'd up. I wanted my 10 minutes back.
10 minutes. Oh, man.
Ryan Willis says, dude, I'd rather watch Shitty So the guard that started than Kirk.
Yeah, can I
Dude,
get
I would love to get some City So mic'd up. That would probably be top 3 on my list.
Can I get the mic'd up of City So with Cole
You those
Popovich?
9 plays, City So, like before and after, like the talk that he got before and the talk he got benched. That's number 1 on my list for a mic'd up.
It's just like after every snap, he's just like, shit.
What?
The Cole Popovich comes over, is like, sit down. Juice, you're in.
The funniest thing would be if they actually did choose to start him and they just mic'd him up too. Like you would be like, all right, this is going way too far. It's already gone far enough. But now you got City So
They just got a video of him standing at the end of the sideline, just being like, yep.
So I'm trying to get offensive linemen to play when I was at my fattest, in the spirit of the fat episode of SNL on Tuesday, in which I will consume the Whataburger all-time favorite. It's going to be a honey barbecue chicken strip sandwich, a double meat, double cheese, large onion rings and large fries, and a large drink, which Cody, I think, was pretty nice to me because that was basically his snack. If I'm being honest with what that used to be a snack to him. But I'm trying to get offensive linemen to play when I was at my fattest. Am I lying?
Snack that's a little excessive.
Okay.
That's a little excessive.
All
Calling
right.
an A1 thick and hearty burger and a double with meat and cheese and a large fry and a large onion ring and a large drink a snack. So a little excessive.
Okay. A light dinner. Anyways, so I already got Jake Andrews. So we're going to play these during the stream as we look ahead to Buffalo. It's going to be the final day of practice. This is going to be a big episode. It might have to be a 90-minuter. But I already got Jake Andrews when he was at his fattest. I'm going to get Jared Patterson. I'm probably going to go get Tim Settle. I wanted to ask City So, but I was like, man, I don't think this is good timing for him. Like, I don't think it would be good for him to talk about his pig out meals after that performance. I've never talked to him. Did anyone talk to him after the game?
I don't think he was in there. He had to get treatment probably for the 9 snaps.
No. I said after the game.
Yeah, he probably had to get treatment right after the game.
Oh, you said he wasn't in there. I thought you were talking about during the game.
No, he was in there. We all noticed.
Nick Cayley loves him some Davis Mills. Regular ketchup always. I don't mess with the spicy. I don't touch the spicy ketchup. I don't like the spicy ketchup. It's regular no matter what. I don't like the spicy ketchup at all. Not even a little bit.
Their regular ketchup so good. That's my ketchup of choice in the fridge.
Yeah, it's not. The spicy is never an option for me.
No.
Yeah. So I mean, and I know that there's a lot of people who love it. Here's something else from Nick Cayley, because I think this is something that is alive if Davis Mills is out there. They might be able to carry the momentum that they had on offense to the Jags game. It's not a shot at CJ Stroud. It's just the reality that it's the same quarterback. It might be the same offensive line. It's going to be the same thing. So maybe you can carry that momentum and hold it down and get the team to 5-5 before hopefully you pass the torch to CJ Stroud on Thursday, depending on what happens tomorrow. Here's Nick Cayley talking about that.
Well, I think the second half we played cleaner. We were more efficient. We were able to move the ball forward more consistently. I think the first half was just couldn't really stay out of our own way a little bit. You know, we got into some bad long yardage situations, which always makes it tough. Never could really get into a rhythm, I would say. So I think we were able to put some positive play. Not that the third quarter, there's not many plays in the third quarter either, but you know, being able to just continue to get positive plays, to continue to convert on third down and possession downs, and really just be able to operate our offense. And I thought that it was a testament to our guys really going out and executing. And doing a great job of that. Nothing more, nothing less.
All right, nothing more, nothing less. Execute, blah, blah, blah. Gotcha. All right, thank you.
There's really only been one positive carryover this season, and that was fourth quarter of the Titans game at home, carried over to Baltimore.
Yeah, and this could be similar to that, honestly. Like this is relatively similar. I mean, it's a shit team. You carried over a good fourth quarter against a shit team and played a complete game. So it's different quarterback, but maybe there is that for sure. There is that possibility. It's also a possibility that I'm going to be in the backyard tonight, and there's a very strong possibility I'm going to be enjoying myself because I got Texans turf. Neighbors are jealous. Home is worth more. I don't have to spend my weekends out there in the backyard. And when the fire is going, it's always green, always clean. When the daughter is playing, the dog is playing, there's no mud, no insects. And it is the best thing I did for my home. Stressful process, shopping for turf. I did it for you, and I found the best. Dan is the man. Doesn't matter what kind of job you need. He's got you covered. Give him a look. I promise you will not regret it. Shout out to Texans Turf. Go TexansTurf.com. Let them get you ready for the holidays. Tell them I sent you.
This would be a great thing to ask for the holidays. Like, hey, honey, can we get turf in the backyard? And can I put a putting green over here? And the kids will get a play area. And you can see all the fantastic work they've done at TexansTurf.com. And you can schedule that free estimate right there on the website at TexansTurf.com.
All right. So the Nick Caley thing, he seems to have found his groove with Woody Marks. It seems like Woody Marks is now the guy that is getting the majority of the carries. I know you appreciate that. He's also very, very happy with Woody Marks. So here's what Nick Caley had to say about that.
You go into a game and you sit there and you try to have balance in a variety of ways for all the right reasons. And sometimes, you get into a rhythm and he played well and he was playing well down the stretch. And I think they both complement, him and Nick both complement each other. So he did well. It's hard to say how every game's going to go. Sometimes it doesn't go the way you want it to, but he did a great job. And, I thought played consistent throughout the game and happy with his performance for sure.
You should be.
So after all that good stuff, Woody Marks, get your ass back on the bench. It's Nick Chubb time, baby.
Man, I'm still they have gotten so lucky with this running back depth right now with being able to keep using these guys. Like the fact that you've had Dare Ogunbowale and Dameon Pierce stay in the running back room for 4 years, both of them for 4 years, and you really haven't had to use them too much this year. It is an absolute miracle. It's crazy.
I mean, they'd be screwed if they didn't have Woody Marks. They'd probably be playing like J.J. Taylor or something.
Well, Jawar Jordan is back.
It's crazy. J.J. Taylor didn't survive longer with his Patriots history.
Jawar Jordan still here.
Yeah. Yeah, they'd have been in a lot of trouble if they didn't end up with Woody Marks, and thank goodness they did. And they know, we don't. When they were aware that there was not going to be Joe Mixon availability to them, so could they have done a little bit more for the room? Sure. Could they have had a couple more bodies in here that maybe push a guy like Pierce or Ogunbowale out? You kind of would have hoped so, but they didn't.
Multiple running backs each draft. You know my philosophy.
Maybe they'll fix it next year.
Yeah, they will. They have to. They multiple running backs next year. And Dare's on the final year, right?
I thought my assumption was he's only on a year-to-year contract anyway.
Yeah, this is it. And then Damien's definitely on the final year. So yeah, more running backs, please.
Yeah,
Swarm.
1 year deal for Dare. 1 year, 1.8.
2-piece for ESG Soccer. My first job was at Arby's. So was mine. I know you'd be in there getting that 5 to 5 with extra cheese, large curlies, and large Jamocha shake. Best fast food item. Yeah, my first job was at Arby's. Dead serious. That was like when I did it, it was like when the Market Fresh first came out. So you could do some damage with the Market Fresh. You can make like a beef and cheddar Market Fresh, fill up a whole bag of fries with like the cheese sticks. Those are nice. The curly fries, just fill up the whole bag and just bring it to your boys after you got out. But yeah, Arby's was my job too. So there you go. ESG Soccer says, what's the deal with B Bishop, WVU guy grinder?
He's asking about Beanie Bishop. Beanie Bishop worked out for the team, but ultimately did not get signed.
Where did you hear about this workout?
Hey, bro. Alpha Aaron here.
Yeah, you know where I heard about it.
Did he call him a standouts?
You know what? He does love to drop blah, blah, blah standout on people. He does do that from time to time. I'll find out if he called. Guess who Beanie Bishop worked out with? Brandon Hill. Remember that name?
From Pitt?
Yeah.
Casario randomly brought him up at the end of season after his rookie year. When they were talking about the draft class, they were talking about CJ and Will's draft class. He randomly brought him up.
Yeah, and then his rookie year, they used a designated for return for him, and then they were in a pinch at the end of the year because they didn't have enough returns. And so they had somebody was hurt or they couldn't put someone on IR or something. I don't remember exactly what it was, but they used an IR return on him, and he was on the practice squad.
Yes.
And then didn't he get hurt again in the preseason?
Yes.
Yeah.
He also had an interception, I think, in the preseason.
Oh, okay.
Or was that in training camp? It was one of those.
I don't know.
Yeah. Don't know what that was. Someone says we want Russ Yeast. He's on the Bengals, isn't he?
Is he on the Bengals or is he on the Bengals practice squad?
I don't know. That dude was mean, man. Dude always wanted to fight. I miss Russ Yeast. Training camp practices were more fun because of Russ Yeast. And training camp practices are always fun to me. What about improvement on the offense? Let's hear Nick Cayley. This is the final thing from old Nick. Let's hear what he has to say about improvement on offense.
Nick. That is a tough group that cares a lot about doing the right thing. And I would say collectively, we haven't been consistent enough over the course of the season. And, we're striving to do that and we're working hard to do that. And I thought you saw a lot of grit. You saw a lot of tough. And when those guys get you going up front, I think it's a catalyst for a lot of other things. And I was really proud of the way that they competed. And, they do that every single day. I mean, I don't have to worry about those guys coming to work ready to do it. It's just we got to continue as a group to just do it a little bit better, cleaner, and be more efficient with those things.
Got a lot of grit.
Glad they at least acknowledged that it hadn't been good. Yeah,
Got a lot of grit. They got a lot of toughness. There you go. Thank you very much, Nick.
Think about how much grit and toughness they'll have when they're rotating guards at two different positions.
You think that happens?
No, God, please don't.
I don't know. He didn't dismiss it. He did say
they might spin a wheel to figure out who starts and who does what.
Well, they go back to Patterson, right? Patterson's earned his keep.
I'd love to tell you that yes, they're going to start Jarrett Patterson again against the Tennessee Titans, but I just can't with a straight face tell you that I know that's going to occur.
And then right guard Juice Scruggs?
No, right guard Ed Ingram.
Okay, so they're going. Yeah, they'll go back to Ed. He doesn't even have to be able to walk.
Unless
shuffle out there, they'll put him in front of Juice. They don't want to play Juice
unless they go Titus at right guard and Trent Brown at right tackle.
Yeah, that would be an interesting one. That would be one where they might be able to get creative. I just don't know. I don't know how they want to handle. I saw Jonathan Alexander the other day said that, and it was a tweet. But he was like, yeah, he's Titus Howard's playing at a Pro Bowl level. And I was like, okay. I mean, really?
I saw that. Yeah. I saw that too.
Yeah, I was like, what? Like, is he? I'm going to ask him about that tomorrow. Jonathan's my boy, but he said that. And I was just like, really? Okay. I mean, he's playing okay, but Pro Bowl level?
I'm not buying the Pro Bowl level.
Yeah.
No, I'm not buying that.
Yeah, that seems a little bit dramatic.
That seems like that might be a bit of an exaggeration.
So we have some big news too, by the way, with the Texans. And Cody was really geeked up about this. Danielle Hunter is your defensive player of the week. Did you send out that article about that today? Defensive player of the week, Danielle Hunter? I'm asking, did you?
Did I send out a Houston football post about Danielle Hunter getting defensive player of the week?
Yes.
No, I didn't.
Okay. I mean,
why would I do that?
I just thought Maybe it was. I mean, I thought it was big news.
What is that? What do I care about that?
Why are you messing with me on this?
Why are you messing with me on this?
I don't know. Aaron asked Daniil about like bending and like all this, and Daniil was like, "What? Oh, pass rushing."
Bending.
Yeah, like bending and
like off the edge
and all that. Yeah. Yeah. I wonder about Nick Caley's hat though.
You ask a team spokesperson for an answer on that?
My City So theory is hanging there. So
until disproven, you have to believe that that's a possibility.
He was holding out for City So. He wasn't going to wash his hat, and he wasn't going to change his hat until City So got a chance, and he threw it away. What are they even saying in Tennessee? This is the least that I've ever known about the Tennessee Titans. Like, I know nothing about what's going on with them right now. I know Tajee Spears is playing, which, I mean, I don't know that Mike McCoy is really going to be able to maximize that opportunity to get him in the open field. Other than that, I just don't really – this is the least that I've paid attention to the Tennessee Titans in a long time.
Oh, I mean, I gotta imagine they're hoping that the bye week provided like some stability for Cam Ward, and they're going to be able to see some stuff from him.
Yeah, that does not look like it's going to go great. And if I'm a head coach, I don't know that that's something that I really want to take on. Like, I don't know that the head coach that they hire is going to be like willing to go there if his task is to get Cam Ward into being elite. I think that's kind of an impossible task to take on.
Cam Ward's, I mean, he's got 5 touchdown passes, 6 interceptions on the season.
Small hands. He is a case against small hands. He just drops the ball.
He's getting sacked at an extremely high rate. There's not a lot of accuracy. And I get that the team around him is really bad. I understand that. But man, what he's in control of and what he does, and you mentioned it, some of the ball handling issues, it's bad.
If Jeffrey Simmons sits this one out, that's going to tell you all you need to know.
Oh, yeah. If he doesn't try to gut it out for Miss Amy.
Yeah, that's going to tell you all you need to know about that.
Yeah.
So there we go. I think we've covered everything. Coordinators today, tomorrow, practice. It will be a normal day with probably we'll get clarity on CJ Stroud.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll figure out what's up with Jalen Petrie as well. And then it's on to Tennessee, and then it's on to Spanky's, which we hope you're there on Friday.
We'll see if Titus gives us a little peek behind the curtain on the O-line.
Peek behind the curtain on the O-line.
Yeah.
See if he slips up and says what he's going to be.
Mm-hmm.
He's been known to do that.
Yeah.
He's been known to do that. So we will see Titus tomorrow, assuming that he practices. We'll figure that out. All right. Appreciate everyone for rolling through. Be sure to subscribe. Be sure to like. Sorry about Cody's disrespect of Togiai's culture. And be sure to always remember, do you have a counter?
I wasn't disrespectful of Tommy Togiai's culture.
When it comes to this Texan stuff, we're all in it together.
Eat good, sleep good, be good. We'll talk Texans again soon. Thanks for watching, everybody.